Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Tuesday to you. Let's make it a terrific Tuesday across the state of Michigan. Space Shuttle Endeavour races deep into space on its final mission. Yesterday, just before we went off the air, the crew got their wake-up call, and here it was, the tune of U2's Beautiful Day.
The heart is a blue.
Imagine how beautiful it must be in outer space to wake up and look at the Earth and the sun and maybe even the moon. Well, Commander Mark Kelly, when he got this message from U2, thanked Mission Control for the wake-up and also thanked his wife, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, who attended the launch at Cape Canaveral yesterday.
Good morning, Endeavour, and a special good morning to you today, Mark.
Morning, Shannon. It's good to be waking up in space again. I want to thank Gabby, Claudia, and Claire for that great wake-up song. It's always good to hear you two and Beautiful Day in Space.
Yeah, the Arizona legislator was able to take a break from her rehab at a Houston medical facility to attend the launch. She's recovering from a gunshot wound to her head, as you'll recall, in Tucson in January. And her husband and Endeavour are on their way to the International Space Station. A West Michigan boy had his wishes come true as he battles a life-threatening illness. The Make-A-Wish Foundation made it possible for 8-year-old Alec Lundy and his family to watch the Space Shuttle Endeavour launch yesterday. He lives with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and he was watching the shuttle launch, and he said it's the most awesome thing that he's ever seen. Speaking of the muscular dystrophy, after 45 years, Jerry Lewis is retiring as the host of the Muscular Dystrophy Association Labor Day Telethon. He's 85 years old. This is Jerry Lewis's theme song. He's a Las Vegas resident. He issued a statement through the Muscular Dystrophy Association saying it's time for a new telethon era. He'll make his final appearance on what will now be only 6 hours long, the primetime telethon on Labor Day weekend, September 4th, and he'll perform his song, You'll Never Walk Alone. Lewis says he's going to continue as the national chairman, but he won't be involved in the telethon anymore. Jerry Lewis, after all these years, stepping aside from the Jerry Lewis Telethon. 45 years on the air, and the telethon opened up sounding like this on one of the vintage years of the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the national chairman of the Muscular Dystrophy Association, Mr. Jerry Lewis.
Thank you very kindly, and a very pleasant good evening to you, and welcome to Telethon 85.
1985, and of course that was Ed McMahon, who has now passed away, introducing Jerry Lewis at the telethon. And one of the things that they were known for is Jerry would be going on with the program, and Ed would interrupt him and say, Jerry, a timpani, and they'd look at the big board that showed all the donations coming in, the millions of dollars, and here's what that sounded like.
Glen Rove and our orchestra.
Aha! Look at this.
Let's see it. Yeah.
And the dollars would roll up there on the screen, and what the world needs now is love, sweet love would come on that song you heard right there. And then there never is a dry eye in the house when Jerry Lewis closes out the telethon, and certainly this year when he does it on Labor Day for the very last time, there won't be. This is how a little bit of how Jerry Lewis closes out every one of his telethons, singing directly to his kids.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone.
Mike King is the Vice President and General Manager of the NBC affiliate in the Lansing area, WILX, from New York this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Michael Patrick. How are you?
Well, who would have thought in 1 year we would lose the Jerry Lewis Telethon, Larry King, and the Space Shuttle? These were the things you and I grew up with. What's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. And just listening to some of the Jerry Lewis Telethon, that was some terrific television. And Jerry was on air for as many as 48 hours. The program would build as fatigue set in, and just seemed to get more and more entertaining and funnier, and then very heartfelt there at the end.
Yeah, very, very manic, too, in some cases. Now, let me ask you, you were in the room yesterday, as I understand it, when Donald Trump told everybody, nope, he's not running for president. What do you make of the news? You're going to have Celebrity Apprentice to kick around for a while more, huh?
Well, the Apprentice actually ratings have been up about 15% this year, and I think we're glad to have it back on the schedule. They found the crazier the guests or the apprentices, the better the show does.
Yeah.
So perhaps we're in for quite an experience next fall.
Yeah, and no Donald Trump for president. I guess NBC probably breathes a sigh of relief in that regard, huh?
I think they do. I would imagine the new team from Comcast had a backup plan should Trump have run for president, but I think they're happy to have him back.
What's the most exciting thing that you saw or person you met yesterday at the NBC meetings in New York?
Oh, I think for everybody the most exciting point was when Christina Aguilera and CeeLo Green walked out and sang a duet at the meeting. It was pretty impressive. Everybody's very excited about The Voice on NBC, the new singing competition that launched just 3 weeks ago. The numbers have been fantastic. It is the highest-rated new program for the entire season this year. And the fact that that'll be back in January has everybody pretty revved up. They also are launching a show from Steven Spielberg called Smash that will air right after The Voice in January, and it stars Deborah Messing and Catherine McPhee, who was one of the American Idols years ago, starring in a production of a program about producing a Broadway show. So there'll be a lot of singing in it. It's huge star power. Looked to be absolutely marvelous.
I'd be excited if I were in the same room with Christina Aguilera, too, Mike King. Who can blame you? He's the General Manager, Vice President, WILX, the NBC affiliate in Lansing, on the fact that Donald Trump will be back and not running for president. We will go live to Ireland, where the Queen is visiting, as soon as we get back. I'm Michael Patrick Shields.